Is it a library? Is it a hidden cave? Or is it something else? Let's find out. Hello and welcome to TSMS Lite. I am your friendly neighborhood Shezzi, and here I am in a friendly neighborhood bar, which I thought was a speakeasy, but apparently it is not. और इसका जवाब देने के लिए मेरे पास मौजूद हैं the mama and papa of Oxymorons, where I am in Begumpet, by the way. Hello, Papa.
Hello.
Rehan Guha. Hello, Mama.
Hello.
Honey Jain Guha. Okay, please tell me how this was born. And you just 2 minutes back said it's not a speakeasy, Shezzi. Calm down.
Yes, it is not. To answer your first question, where it was born out of a need to put Hyderabad on the map of the best bars of India. Couple of years back, me and Honey were attending the 30 best bars in Goa. And we saw bars from Goa, Bombay, Delhi, even Calcutta make the list. Hyderabad wasn't there anywhere in the conversation also. So that's when the bug actually bit me to make sure Hyderabad stands on that list. And Oxy is a manifestation of that.
Fantastic. And we're going to talk about the crazy cocktails that they're doing. But what is this act of bravery, madam? Mia Bivi saath mein kaam karenge.
So I have obviously dabbled in a lot of things and you know this, right? I mean, I started with fashion and I did that for about 14 and a half years. Then when COVID struck, obviously the whole business was shut. So I got back to studying. I, joined a corporate job. I did my MBA from ISB. And ironically, I had done my MBA from ISB to sort of advance my corporate career. And then I realized that the learnings that I've got, I would not really be able to use that in an HR job. So then I was like, acha, kis business mein raita philaya jaye? And back then he was building something of his own. And I was like, okay, you know what? Why don't we do something together?
You all have managed to not kill each other so far?
We go through that every day. But yeah.
So we decided not to work in 500 meters of each other.
Yeah. We are together here because there's a shoot. Otherwise, we are in two opposite here. When I was actually trying to figure out if I should join Rehan in his business or not, I was actually getting mentored by a very senior leader in our organization at our cesium. And, I went to her and I said that, there is another offer. Rehan's been asking me to join his company, but I'm not too sure because I think that we'll not be able to keep our personal and professional lives separate and we might end up fighting a lot. And she said something to me which has actually stayed with me. She said that, honey, fights in a husband and wife are inevitable.
Yes.
It's a great way to make money off it. So she's like, whether or not you work together, there are fights that are going to happen. And if you can actually make money out of it,
why not?
Why not? And I think that it's, of course, a very, very, very difficult relationship, right? I mean, when you're trying to work together and you're also spouses. But if you can manage to work around that, I think it is one of the most solid partnerships that you would ever be able to form, because I know that all said and done, we might disagree, but he will still have my best interests at heart and vice versa.
You
so
have
I think,
each other's back.
yes.
Fabulous. And was it very difficult for you to convince the team or to inform the team that this is not my wife is joining the family business?
First year, I totally dropped her into the hot water. I said, two things will happen. Either you'll learn to swim or you will drown. Human nature is such, if you tell somebody that paint is wet, they are still going to try to touch it and see how wet it is. So I firmly believe experience is the best teacher in life. And not just her, even with most of my staff, I'm like that. I don't mollycoddle anybody. Even when my brother joined our business, it was the same story. And I told her, you have 1 year, learn everything that is to do. Learn the grassroots operation, because before you can command people, before you can go out there and become a subject matter expert, you need to know what happens at the grassroots, and which she did very well. She served tables, she understood the accounts, she understood the back end, she had to learn her way. And
see, the level that I joined at, right, there was no possibility for anybody to really defy my existence, right? You would be forced to sort of acknowledge that I've joined his business because you were joining at the owner level, right? But I would not see that kind of respect. And that actually also sort of propelled me to start my content journey. And I was like, listen, if people are not understanding my worth, I'm going to find people who understand my worth. And then I started putting out whatever I have learned, because I knew that there would be a lot of people like that who feel unseen. And I think they deserve to be seen and they deserve to know my story. And today, very, very proudly, I can say that, I have also commanded that role where I don't wait for him to make any decision. I make decisions that I'm supposed to make. I just let him know it's an FYI that, hey, I've taken so-and-so decisions. And now, obviously, I see a lot of difference in the way people also perceive me. Yeah.
She owns her decisions, whether good, bad, ugly. Staff nikalna hai, nikalo. How you're going to manage is your lookout, right?
But that also, I think also one, I mean, while I don't agree with his way of putting people in the deep end and asking them to figure out, but there is one great quality about him as a partner and as a business partner is that he really gives you the space to grow. I've never had him tell me, oh, why did you take that decision? He's like, okay, you took the decision, tell me the logic. And what do we do if this decision goes south?
We started this dialogue when you mentioned about putting Hyderabad out there nationally as far as cocktails is concerned. And I was just doing a little bit of research over here. Things over here are clarified and what fat washed and fermented and whatnot, and you distill it to some very clear looking thing, but some very mad flavors are coming out of this. Where is the research? Where is this coming from, Rehan?
So staying true to the name Oxymorons, which basically means two ideas or two things that should not work but come together beautifully. That's the same philosophy we've used in our drinks program, right? These are techniques that have been used for a very, very long time from our ancestors, but basically to cook food.
Yeah.
Right? We've been fat washing things forever. We've been fermenting things forever. We've been clarifying things also forever, using muslin cloths and stuff like that. We have just gone ahead, not we, today the bar industry in general has gone ahead and adapted most cooking techniques into creating drinks. Yeah, I mean, you see 12 great drinks, but I think we went through 150 drinks before we kind of hit onto these 12. Like every drink, I have spent a week getting that balance right, that nuance right. I mean, to fat wash the chicken drink, like we have a drink on the menu which is called Loud Whisper, which is out of chicken broth and Bye masala.
Bye masala, yeah.
Right. So chicken broth in general has this fatty taste to it.
Yeah.
And I was very sure I don't want it.
Correct.
Because most of the drinks on chicken that have in the country or elsewhere has this fattiness to that drink. I was very sure I didn't want it. So that drink, before it comes to your glass, is about 48 to 78 hours in preparation before it comes to you. It goes through almost 5 levels of filtrations before we achieve that level. So people don't understand it, but that's the perfection in the glass. So it's just about going back to the roots. Even the flavors that we are using are very, very rooted. So we have a drink with gongora leaves and bhaji chili, which is our picante version. So we've tried to use as much local produce. We've tried to be as sustainable as possible, try to use them in the garnishes.
As of today, a 15-second reel can literally just shatter things for you over here. What is your take on that?
My philosophy to the core is very simple. Get the product right. Because yes, your 15-second reel can change the course of it, but that is good enough to bring people only for the first time.
Yeah.
The curiosity that you create in the market will drive in the people to check out the space for once.
Yes.
Okay, let's go see what this whole thing is all about. You want that person to come back to you for the 5th time, the 10th time, the 50th time over the course of a year, 2 years. Then only your product can do that. Right?
Beautiful.
And the energy in the room. So I agree that being known, being seen is very important in today's world. You can't disparage that. You do content consistently, it will create curiosity. After that, what?
Yeah.
Right? Then people are only judging you on your product.
Yeah.
And if you don't get that right, people will come and trash your place.
Yes.
On that same social media, they'll go and they'll call it overhyped, they'll call it overpriced, not worth it.
Yeah.
So, like I say, for me, at heart, the feeling that I really want to achieve is when people walk out of here, they walk out with the feeling I want to come back here.
Fabulous.
People don't come to have something better. People come back to have what I had 2 months back on a Friday night at 9 o'clock. I want to have the same goddamn thing again today.
That's brilliant, actually. Yes. Consistency over all your friends.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's the thing. This conversation can literally go on forever, but it is TSMS Lite after all. I want to wrap up our discussion here today. We'll keep it really snappy, but I want one recommendation from you both about something. You give me a cocktail recommendation, you give me a food recommendation over here. Okay, so we're going to go with you first.
Okay, so a food recommendation would probably be mutton sukka. That is one dish that flies off our shelves like every night. I think we at least have 30 to 40 orders, and for a small seater like this, that's a big
Fabulous.
number. So yeah, mutton sukka is something that's really nice. The dry ramen is really nice, and yeah, so I think these would be my 2 food
Fabulous.
recommendations.
Sir, cocktail.
Cocktail, contrary, we have our signatures, which are 12. You could come and try all of them, but
Hey, give me one.
for me,
सारे 12 बच्चे हैं, मैं सबसे बहुत प्यार करता हूँ.
for me, the most amazing part of the menu is our forgotten classics, which is our ode to the pre-prohibition era. The Sazeracs, the revolver clubs,
Right.
the Martinez. That's where the actual cocktail game originated.
You know,
the Martinez
एक
is
नाम नहीं.
हाँ, एक
for
नाम
me,
बोला है.
for me on our menu, the Martinez.
Okay, you know what? Rehan Guha and Honey Jain Guha, it is an absolute delight to sit in Oxymorons and have this conversation.
Thank you.
Same here.
Same here.
Right after this, I'm going to say Khane mein kya hai?
Of course.
Begumpet is where the action is at. Thank you for watching.
Bye bye. See you.